You ready to do this thing?
Of course, as I am every week.
New product time. Okay, what's this?
Okay, we're gonna start it off with the L4931 5-volt linear regulator from ST. It doesn't look, too exciting, but it's actually quite a nice linear regulator. We have switching regulators and bucks and boosts and all that good stuff, and we even have the venerable 7805 in the store. Now we also have this little miniature regulator. What's really nice about this is extremely low dropout. It's about up to, at the most, 0.4 volts. So it's really good for reducing a couple AA batteries to 5 volts. You don't need 7 volts in. You only need like 5.25 volts in to get down to 5 volts regulated. And it plugs very nicely into a breadboard, and it's got all sorts of protection in it, and it can do up to 250 milliamps. So we were thinking of carrying the 78L05, but this is kind of superior in every way. So we decided to go with this. Like, it's more protection, more current, lower dropout. It's a little bit more expensive, but I think it's worth it. Yeah. Very nice regulator.
Okay.
Up to like 20 volts in too, just super sweet.
Yeah, I think we're getting a little too intense on some of our photos, but I'm just gonna keep going with it.
Look at this great.
Yeah,
this is you can really read the markings.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, battery holders.
We've got more battery holders. These are Camcorder battery holders, and they're kind of interesting because usually we have battery holders that are like AA or AAA or like a 9-volt or whatever. And these battery holders are for camcorder cells. And the reason you might want to do that is because if you say want to use a regulator, a linear, wait, I'm getting there.
I'm going to the overhead.
You want to do,
you can stop me.
If you need a voltage around 6 to 8 volts or so, and you can use AA's, but if you want to use lithium polymer batteries, you probably want to have a lithium ion or lithium polymer battery that's a pack that you can recharge. So like you might be able to get one of these really nice cells. So these are like, this is a Panasonic cell, and this is a camcorder battery. We don't sell this, but you can get it at like almost any electronics store. And like this is 7.2 volts and 4,000 milliamp hours. So this is like a really nice battery in the chargers.
That holder to your project and just pop in one of those batteries.
The
That's
idea
nice.
that behind these is that if you have these cells, especially if you already have these kicking around, you can grab one of these holders that we have and just make sure that the red and black aren't touching. You can just snap it in. Hold on. I'm going to do this over here, and then I'm going to pretend like I snapped it in over there. There you go.
Sneaky, sneaky.
So like pretend like I snapped it in away from me. So it snaps in, and then when you're done, you snap it out. So you can do quick releases. So these are handy. We use these in the wearables group at the Media Lab for wearables, and they're really fantastic. So we have already one for, this is the F750 and 550 and all the basically the Fuji series. I remember. Oh man, I can't remember. We also have this one, which is Panasonic D28 and D54. I don't have one of the batteries, but it has these prongs here, and again, it's the mounting holes. I don't actually know what these were originally for, but I was like, these are really useful for when you want to plug in camcorder stuff. And Noah and Pedro actually asked us for this for a project.
Okay.
And this is for the Canon E6 series. So now we have 3 different types of plug-in battery holders, and they all have like nice snappy outs. And then on the other side, you get positive and negative wires. So if you want to add, a removable battery to your project, because I see people use camcorder and camera batteries for projects, they're a little bit, more expensive than a AA holder, but they are really sweet. This is nice. Comes with some extra screws and stuff too. Okay. So that's the battery holders, both of them.
Good stuff.
And you can show them all off if you want.
I did.
Okay, great.
I showed all the photos.
Great.
Okay,
Perfect.
next up. We're going to do some things here. This is Pocket Miku.
Pocket Miku.
Yeah.
So Miku is like if you're not otaku fan, Miku is...
No, everybody watches this.
Oh, everybody watches.
Everybody watches,
okay,
yeah.
Everyone knows Pocket Miku. So, but for the 2 people out there who don't, because I have to be
inclusive,
thorough,
yeah, sure.
Inclusive, Pocket Miku is a virtual idol, a Japanese idol. She's a singer who is a hologram, and she's kind of like this singer, dancer, entertainer, and there's a huge fan base, which unfortunately I'm not up on my anime and manga, so I don't know that much about her life story as a virtual creature. But we do have.
She opened up for Lady Gaga recently as a hologram.
Yeah, but she does concerts and stuff, which we using this like Pepper's Ghost type hologram, and now we have this Vocaloid, which is a synthesizer that mimics her voice and also has like, it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna show this in the overhead. So it has, you have this Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
It has USB and it acts like a MIDI device or like a USB MIDI device. And you can put it into battery mode or USB mode. And then in USB mode.
Yeah, so you can tell it to say things. So the first thing that we cut and paste, this is gonna sound like Adafruit.
And you can play different, and you can have her sing because it's like a keyboard, but you send it the katakana, hiragana that you want it to say, and it will program it in, and then you can, and then you just press the notes as you like. So you can have it basically sing whatever.
And then we have Domo Agata Mr. Roboto.
Wait, don't copy that, copy this.
Oh yeah.
Can I just play it so that?
You need to play this thing
All
instead
right,
of
thank
me.
you.
I was just getting this started.
I know how to
I'm
use
just the
it.
warm-up act.
Okay, so you've got, it's got like a resistive plate, and you've got this, or yeah, I guess it's a resistive plate. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe capacitive underneath.
This thing does MIDI. It's awesome.
And then it's got a stylus for touching, and then I guess it's going to say "Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto."
Yeah. This thing is so cool.
It's
and
so
we're
weird.
the only company in the US, I think, who has these right now.
Yeah, we're the only like distributor that has them right now. And then you had to say Adafruit, and you can make it basically sing any Japanese or Japanese inflected words that you like. And you can also, if you don't want to have it kicked up to MIDI mode, there's a really nice web interface for programming it in phrases. You can also program it in using the keyboard and the vowels here, so you can make it sing words on the fly by putting it into battery mode and have like vibrato and volume and stuff. So
yeah. So we'll crack this open too. I think it'll probably do a tear down to show some of the components and how it works. But this is really neat. We like bringing this weird stuff. If we had investors or loans or something like that, I think they would tell us to stop messing around with this weird stuff. Okay, a little more.
okay,
Let's move on to the next thing.
next up.
Oh, whoops. I gotta click.
When you're ready.
Yeah. By the way,
What?
I have to. You have to tell. I have to have a clip or something. So some people in the comments once in a while say, "I wish you wouldn't rush her through the new products." You tell me to get you finished by 9. You tell me I have one job.
Yeah, we have to finish by 9.
Yeah. So like, it's not my fault.
It's not your fault. No, I just think it's funny that you're like, let's go, but then you're not ready.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
All right. Next
choosing
up, we
it.
have another Gakken kit.
But we're almost done. We only have 2 more
Yeah, we have a
products.
Gakken kit. Okay. This is drums.
This is a,
You can play the drums.
no, I cannot play. I have no sense of rhythm, really. So I just do the engineering. This is a steel drum kit, and it has a pickup, although we're not going to use the pickup here because apparently the pickup doesn't interact very well with our microphones. But I can demo the steel drum kit when you are ready to put it on
Let's
the
go to the overhead.
So you get this kit to put
Lady
together.
on the drums.
And yeah, it's got a steel drum and it's got the cutout, the pop outs, so you can play tones. That's the extent of my tonal capabilities. And the booklet also teaches you how to play the steel drums. So I guess the way you hold it and the way where you tap on the drum will make different tones. I haven't read the book. And it has a little microphone as well, amplifier, if you want to use that. So it transmits over FM. So you have to actually have a radio to pick it up. I guess that's how they do it. Or you can connect up an amplifier here.
Okay. And last but not least, the star of this week's show besides Lady Ada is the Servo hat. This thing is a monster of motors.
Servo motors.
Just look at this thing, just look at it.
There's a lot of servos going on here. This is basically a remix of our Servo Breakout and Servo Shield that people have been using with the Raspberry Pi, but just wasn't as elegant. And now we have spun it into a hat shape. A hat is the formal name for a thing that plugs into a Raspberry Pi and Model A Plus or B Plus and adds capabilities. You can use this with the Model A or B, but we we kind of made it for the B plus and A plus. It's a standard shape, and all the holes line up, and the connector lines up nicely as well. And it uses this chip we really like, the PCA 9685, which can give you 16 channels of 12-bit PWM. So you can control LEDs. You can dim LEDs if you want, or like anything else that uses PWM. But what it's really, really sweet for is free-running servos. So you can set it, the chip, and tell the chip over X-Squared, so you put the servo at this location, and it will like continuously give it that pulse that the servo needs. Because the continuous pulse part is what the Raspberry Pi is really bad at. It's not very good at precise timing, but this chip takes over the precise timing and does it for you. So you can have up to 16 servos, and they have no glitches, and they work great.
Demo.
Yeah, I've got the demo.
Demo.
You were taking up the valuable time that you were going to rush me about later. So this is the...
You know, I like when I have the photo of the product and I go to the overhead and it almost kind of matches up. That's kind of nice. Okay, all right. Okay, demo.
So this is the Pi, and to power the servos, you have to provide it with 5-volt power. I have a 5-volt plug plugged in here. There's a 5-volt regulator. And the reason is that motors are very spiky, and you don't want to reset your Pi by accident. So we have a separate power supply specifically for servos. You give it 5 to 6 volts. And then I only have the first 4 servos on, but there's 16 slots. So you can imagine if we wanted to get really loud, we could have 16 servos going on at a time. And I just have it go back and forth. Okay, so that's 1. Okay, hold on. Whoa, servo, come back here. And then maybe I'll get this big one going. Okay, so you just plug in your servos. It has the standard connectors, the 3-pin connectors that people are so used to for servos. And go to town. You can drive any analog servos, digital servos, anything that uses the standard servo connector will work. So it's really good if you have like a robot or a project that needs a lot of motion control, and it's just like really hard to drive servos from the Raspberry Pi. So you would use this instead. And then if you want, you can also, if you get the extra stacking components, create a stacking header and also right angle style connectors so that the servos plug in on the side. And then you can actually stack multiple servo hats on top, and we talk about how to do that. You can stack up to like 30 or so. So if you want to control like 900 servos for some like unknown reason, you could do that, and they would all run as long as you can provide them enough power. So this is kind of like the servo solution, I think. It's got polarity protection, it's got this plug. You can also wire in 5 volts directly. We have a library for this, and a little bit of prototyping area over here as well. There's also an EEPROM on there to make it HAT compatible. And we have it on a B plus here, but it works on the A plus. And if you use a different connector, if you use a 2x13, you can work it on a Raspberry Pi Model B or Model A if you'd like. Okay.
And with that being said, Lydia, you know what that means? The new product section is over. Great job.
I got to everything.
Good work, and I didn't rush you.
Yeah, you didn't have to rush me. It was so chill.
Yeah.